I know that Nick is going to be shocked by this, but I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic, and the cautiously is with a capital C, and the optimistic is obviously with a lowercase. Oh, when you look at the last 20 years, who's been a superstar who's been drafted number one overall? There's only been one guy that's won a Super Bowl as a starter. That was Eli Manning. I mean, there was Andrew Luck. Okay, you could argue that he was. There, Cam Newton, Michael Vick. I mean, are those the superstar status, or are we looking at winning Super Bowls? And then you've got the other mixture of Jared Goff. You've got Sam Bradford. It goes right on down the line. It's hard. It is Tim Couch. Jamarcus Russell. I mean, keep going. There's a bunch of them, and it's hard to look at what's happened over the last 20 years in terms of guys drafted in that spot and say that this is anywhere near a lock to become a superstar. It's just, and as much as I know Nick probably already has him in the Hall of Fame, or he wants to give him a contract extension. You know, either one. Yeah, it's one or the other. But the odds are against it as much as I'm hoping for him.
Well, listen, Stafford is another guy. He's kind of in between the star and the didn't work out area. But, Coach, you're only looking the last 20 years. Let's take a wider lens. Who's in the modern draft? The first number one overall pick quarterback, Terry Bradshaw. 4 Super Bowl wins. That enough for you, buddy? What about Sonny Jurgensen? Oh. He got a couple of them, didn't he? What about John Elway? Went to 5, won 2 of them. That's a number one overall pick. And, here's the thing. My answer is 95%. And Coach is right. Sometimes I know and I know. And I know with this guy, the only reason not 100% is the Jaguars could screw it up. You are correct, Coach. It's not allowed by the NFLPA bylaws. I would give him the contract extension right now. Lock him up, Jacksonville, so he doesn't get away from you. And Kevin Wildes, you know why I love him. Was he amazing in the national championship game? Of course. Was he unbelievable every year at Clemson? Yeah. But I knew, you could ask me this question 5 years ago. The moment I saw this picture, and right beneath it was his rivals rating. Oh, look at that. You know what that looks like? That's a 5-star athlete with a 6-star neck. There are 2 things that can sell me on a player. Your high school rivals rating. What are you laughing at? It's not dumb. Okay, find me. Stop. What? I'm obviously right. Lamar Jackson, huge neck MVP. Patrick Mahomes, bigger neck than you think MVP. Mike Glennon, absurdly skinny neck total washout. Go up and down the list, buddy. The only skinny neck great NFL player was Merton Hanks. Everybody knows this, Wildes. So 5-star out of high school, 5-star neck. He's going to be a superstar. You know I'm right, Wildes. Guy can take an NFL hit.
That's the type of technical analysis I love from you, Nick. That in-deep technical analysis. I love it.
Yeah.
It might be. It's like an economic indicator. It's just like you just have to look at dry cleaning, and that can tell you if the economy's up or down. Yeah. It's the same with neck size, I guess. Yeah. I'm at 96%, but Coach, I want to ask you a question about social media. Since you're a social media expert, all the Manginis are.
Guru.
Troy, Guru. I go with Guru. Troy was 0-11. Started off 0-11. Obviously, was fantastic. Peyton Manning went 3 for 13 his rookie year. Yeah, also number 1 pick. Do you think that in like the social media era, and I believe in Urban and I believe in Trevor, but that there's more of a pressure cooker now and that you would have less leeway, even though the NFL was obviously covered well in those days, that there's a different environment right now, that if you lose 10 in a row, or if you have a Troy, you go 0-11, that would kind of get into Trevor's mindset a little bit. The guy won in high school, won in college, and then go 0-11. Do you think that would be an issue for the Jacksonville to manage? How about that as a question?
I think social media has made it harder on athletes in general because there's pressure from everywhere. There's access in ways that there never used to be, and as much as you want to try to protect and nurture these guys when they're young, it's hard to do that. That going 0-11 could be an element of that, but getting sacked a bunch of times, getting hit a bunch of times, having an inability to produce at a level that you've been used to producing at since you were in the earliest stage of high school, all that stuff factors into it, and he hasn't really had to go through a segment of real adversity. When has he had to overcome a really difficult situation? And there's not a body of work to say this is how he's going to respond. You watch the preseason game the other night and you think, oh, he's going to go through a little bit of adversity. And for some guys, that puts them into a shell that they never come out of, and other guys that are toughened up and do great things. And I don't know why you didn't mention Jim Plunkett, Nick. I mean, we want to keep going back to number one pick. Yeah, I mean, we can go back 800 years. I said Sonny Jurgensen,
I meant Jim Plunkett.
Yeah,
I said Sonny Jurgensen, I meant Jim Plunkett. Yeah, my bad. That's my bad. It's a bad job by me. There's nothing to say. I was too worried about his neck.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.